when y'all were single, how important was your partner's money and stability coming into your life? So I was listening to this guy in his live, and he was talking about how he was at the barbershop. This is a cishet dude, you know. If I'm listening to him, I randomly accidentally rolled up on him, and part of the
he was cute. He was cute. Saying,
you already had a big dick. You already had a big hawk.
You already had a BBC.
Right, he fine. Or he got a big old dick, and I'm just following him because I need some eye candy. So that's what it was. Somebody looked sickening, and he was on live. So he basically started the conversation off saying that all the bitches in his life, all the chicks in his life that he sees, all chicks want is dick and money. All they looking for is dick and money. And my mentors, he's some old niggas that he fuck with, I guess. My mentors say the same thing. All they looking for is dick and money, and that's all you really need to have, and blah 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 blah. And so I said in the comments of his live, I said, well, if you put it like that, it sounds kind of bad. But if you put it like all women want is pleasure and stability, then it sounds a little bit more responsible, because dick gives us pleasure, people who enjoy penis. Dick is giving us pleasure, and money is giving us stability. And when you think of in an adult, you should be worried about, when you're partnering with somebody, you should be worried about if they are pleasing you, and you should be worried about stability. Nobody wants to be on the fucking street. And so his response to me, oh, that sounds like you a lazy motherfucker. That just sounds like you don't want to work. It takes two to tangle, da da da. I said, first of all, my nigga, I didn't say anything about your comment is about what women want. We're not talking about what we bring to the table. You didn't even talk about any of that. That's what we want don't have shit to do with what we bring to the table. So you didn't ask me that, or my work ethic. So calling me lazy or da 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 da, that has nothing to do with what the fuck I'm talking about. Because I have never been in a relationship with a nigga that made more money than me. Every nigga that except for one, I'm sorry. But even in that case, he wasn't taking care of me. He made more money, but he wasn't taking care of me too. Like I'm sitting up, honey, eating grapes, playing with my pussy, and waiting for him to get home. I was working too, had a job, and every motherfucking thing. So I wasn't sitting back doing nothing. So I ain't never had no nigga that was just giving me, this luxurious life. I always either had more money than them, or they had, they were helping me more than another dude was. So when I was telling him, I was like, it has nothing to do with my lazy. If I want a nigga who makes a certain amount of money that's comparable to me, more or less or equal, or a little bit less or equal, enough that I can handle, I can deal with it, and it gives me security where I stay, I think that is an important quality that I look for in a dude. And dick is important. My pleasure is important. So if I want you to have a certain size dick, if I want you to have a certain thickness, girth of dick, then that's my pleasure. That's what I want. So therefore, I don't think it's a problem to be looking for dick and money. So what I wanted to ask out is, when you were single and you were choosing a partner, how important was those things, or how important do you think those qualities are in choosing a partner?
You first.
No.
Okay.
Because they said we don't let you talk.
Okay. When I was single, I wasn't single. I haven't been single since I was 21. So I was just, when I got with me, I was figuring things out, but it wasn't important to me then. I did want somebody that as far as what was the question? It's as far as like money was. Okay, yes, I like stability. I'm the type of person where I don't want a dynamic where I do all the work And the reason being is because men, they usually operate that way, where they do all the work and they're the sole um, income provider. And they usually comes with a price, and they usually expect things with that. They they usually expect a certain, like, and that, because that's a very strict binary dynamic. It's like old school to me. And usually they would expect the woman to cook and clean and blah blah blah. I wanted a dynamic where we both with stability, stable, both on our ship, both making money. It don't matter who made the most, but if we had certain responsibilities we set out for each other, then we live up to those expectations. If somehow one of us end up slacking, that's fine. The other one is in a good, stable position where we could pick up the slack for each other. So there's never any fall off. Like there's like a teamwork thing. Like, okay, you had this responsibility that we set out, you fell off on it. Okay, I'll pick it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm in that position where I could do that. And it could be that type of dynamic. I don't want a strict binary way of life with a partner, but I have always wanted a partner that was stable money wise. And I think that's why my last long-term relationship, we were on two different paths, because basically she her parents, provided everything for her. And and she was real cool. We had chemistry, but my parents didn't give me everything. And I was ready to move forward with adulthood faster, even though she was older, and it was certain maturity I saw that she had to get to. So I would say it's really about your mindset. I don't expect I don't want to be with a woman that expect me to provide everything. Yes, yes, it's important to want to be spoiled for depending on what type of person you are. Like for me, I might like to be spoiled in different ways. And most, they don't necessarily mean financially. And for some women, they don't want to be spoiled financially. They just want to have pleasure and stability, and that's really all they ask for. And just and some women can't be with a man that don't show emotion. Some of them can. Like, it just depends on the chemistry. So for me, I would say money is important, because that's how I don't want to have a baby until I'm in a place where I don't have to do sex work for money. I don't have to do certain things. Like, there's certain priorities I have. Like, I want my life set up to where it's kind of planned. You see what I'm saying? Like, and be with somebody that is into that. You see what I'm saying? So, somebody that complements your strengths, and your strengths complement their weaknesses. And that's how it is with me, really. Like, I'm so organized. I'm sorry I'm being long-winded, but I'm super organized and very um good with time. And she's not really good with those things, but I've been teaching her tools,
Don't be telling my
I'm
daughter.
sorry. Okay, I'm gonna tell you what she's helped me with. Um she's helped me be more outspoken and go for the things I want in life. And actually, and not, because when she met me, I was kind of just stuck. She was like, "What do you want?" I was like, "I don't know." "What do you want to do in life?" "I don't know." "Well, what type of career?" "I don't know." "Where you plan on going to school?" "I don't know." "Where do you want top surgery?" "I don't know." "What do you want?" Like, I just didn't know nothing. But she knew what she wanted. She just has, I ain't gonna put you, but organization is not her strength, and that's my strength. So, okay.
So y'all balance. So it sounds like y'all balance each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And she's not good at communication. I am. So it's just like, it's this balance. So if I was to be with anybody, I would look for people that are looking.
So you said how you balance me. How do I balance you?
I just said it.
What?
You made me see, like, go for things I wanted in life, because you helped me recognize what I did want. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, well, why don't you do this? And I'd be like, okay, interesting. Why don't I do this? And then if I had an idea, you didn't get in my way of letting me do that. However, I've gotten in your way of letting you do things. So, but you told me, okay, I'm not in your fucking way. Get out of my way. And I'd be like, okay, you right. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just been, we like opposites, but not.
Y'all complementary.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think that's the beauty of y'all relationship that I don't want to say I'm surprised, because although I didn't know you, Z, prior to y'all relationship, I did know Mia. And, you know, seeing y'all come together and how y'all, you know, I've been here the whole time in y'all relationship. You see what I'm saying? And seeing how y'all have actively worked through problems, actively worked through insecurities amongst each other, and really try to make it work and for each other. I think that is what is the root of y'all success in regards to, you know, y'all are complementary. How y'all think about things, even in the midst of the problems, even in the midst of problems coming up, how y'all approach them is why y'all have had the longevity that y'all have. Because, you know, some people, it works out at the beginning, but honey, as soon as some bump in the road come, blow up, and we're done. Y'all really are active in trying to make that work, and y'all do complement each other. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's on your time to answer now.
Okay, so like, woo,
because you're not used to being with a trans guy, so I know a lot of that.
So
now remember, the question is, how important was it when you were single? Is that stability and pleasure? How are those things important to you? Has it changed since you've been in a relationship, or what was it like prior?
So, prior to being in a relationship, I was single for a really, really long time. Like, this is my first relationship. So, like, my standards, I would say that were a lot higher than your average person, but only because I felt like they had to be as a trans woman. Like, I felt like I couldn't let certain shit slide. Like, there were certain things that you had to do in order for me to be comfortable. Because like going through like the transition of letting people wear me out and wasting my time, I was like, girl, I need to figure out what I want. So in the beginning, I'm from the South, so I'm very traditional. So I feel like before I got in a relationship, and I used to tell my sister this, like, if you go out, make sure that the trade is paying your way. Don't go out with no piece of trade that can't pay for your date. That's late. You don't need to be with no broke piece of trade. Like, how y'all gonna get y'all? Yeah, you don't need to be with a broke man, because how are y'all going to elevate? And you doing your due deals and you trying to carry him on, it's just not gonna work. But then I also always told her, always have your coin ready. Don't ever come to a date and you don't have no coin. Then you'll gag, because if you ain't had this conversation with Trey and you just think that he about to pay for everything and he gag you and just pay for his part, then you don't know what you're gonna do. So, but I'm not saying that you're like, she's broke. Huh?
I was broke when we got together.
Well, okay, so listen. I felt like it's just escorting. I felt like I that's what I wanted. Like, I felt like I needed this hero. Like, not even just a hero, just I wanted somebody that was already on that shit, so that I could compliment them, because I'm financially, I know that I'm a stable woman, and I can pull a rabbit out of a hat. But I also wanted somebody who was like the opposite of me financially, like that could teach me something different versus just the steady hustle of my mentality, but also had a shit together, and also respected me. So going into a relationship with
a young broke trans guy.
Wait. Can I expand on that a little bit? Because I think that's an important point you just made. When we come into this life as trans women, I don't know necessarily how it works for trans men, but as a trans woman coming into this life, sex work is immediately how that's just the tool that is presented. There's no other way that somebody presents to you, this is how you can make money, or this is how you save, or this is how you invest in this. And now paying attention to other people around my life, like even cisgender people, like my mom, when she was struggling, my aunt Roz, her right here, my aunt Roz said, girl, you got a pussy. You should never be broke. You got a pussy between your legs. So even her, even my mom was pushed into sex work. You get what I'm saying? When she was struggling, she was like, my aunt was like, no motherfucker helping you, bitch. You need to get one of these niggas. You running out setting pussy out to these other motherfuckers for free. Set pussy out to one of these older niggas that got some money. Let me introduce you to one of them. And that's literally what she did. And she introduced my 17-year-old mom to a nigga that got coins. But she was a hoe. She didn't know no better either. And she was like, yo, this is how you survive, girl, because these motherfuckers ain't gonna help you. Our family ain't gonna help you. They motherfucking Christian, da-da-da-da. They gonna judge, da-da-da. I'm just telling you what I know. And my mama, she had been fucking with, he just recently passed. He was like 90-something. She had been fucking with him since she was 17, and he was like maybe 40-something, like maybe 30, late 38 or something like that. But he had money and been having money. So her whole life, he was her trick. He was somebody that she could come to and say, hey, da-da-da-da. And so even her, me looking now, at first I was making it seem like it was unique to trans women, but that's just really not the case. It's unique to women. That's always something, because we know that we are objectified, and we know that we are, that is, we are exploited. We know that we can turn to that to make us money. And so nobody is teaching us other ways. Nobody is teaching us how to invest in the stock market and E-trade and flip houses. And do we even have the resources to do that? And it's so many things that people are not teaching us in regards to about money. I didn't know about credit. Nobody I knew in my family knew about credit. They all had bad credit and didn't know how to fix it. So all these things are something that we don't actually, and it's not exclusive to trans women, but we don't know how to navigate money in a certain way. So this is the only way that we learn initially how to survive. But go ahead, me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. And that's what a lot of men who date trans women, they say, well, like every trans woman that I talk to is a sex worker. Well, a lot of girls want to pay for their surgeries, and a lot of girls don't want to go through discrimination while they're trying to pay for their surgery. So they just be like, okay, well, I know how this girl did. I know how this girl did it. So let me get it done. And it's just kind of been passed down that way. The men we rarely hear a case where a man has said, oh, I actually have the money to do this for you. I'm going to get it done. It's really rare. It's so rare. Because a lot of them but for the cis women, y'all get the moon and the stars. Y'all get brand new cars, houses.
Not all of them.
But I'm just saying.
You got to be, honey, Drea Michelle, or you have, even with cis women, to get that kind of treatment, you have to be on a certain. You have to have social capital in regards to beauty and youth and all that kind of stuff to get shit just handed to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm not gonna say that I'm not trying to paint a picture like women are just like we can't, like we're not lawyers, like we're not people who have money, like we're not the bosses sitting here. Because I know plenty. I'm just saying from my experience, and that's what I needed. Like I was making a pretty decent coin, and if I tried, I could make a really cute one. And if I was gonna be with somebody that took me out of that, I wanted them to be financially stable. That way I could try to work on doing things the right way if the sex work got in between whatever we had going on. But getting in a relationship with Z, with a trans man, like that whole thought process of trying to battle him with sex work in the beginning of our relationship was like, oh, this should be a piece of cake because we want the same thing. And I could show you some tricks and stuff to get you where you need to be. And we could play this thing together and it'll be sickening. And so it was not a smooth ride. Being in a relationship and you both are doing sex work and then you both believe in monogamy, it just there's some fine lines that are blurred and
respectability politics
depending on which it was a lot. But Z didn't come in our relationship being like this picture of a Bitcoin and you wasn't broke. But how can I?
In my eyes, I was.
Well, from like I don't know, like I'm a real good judge of character, and I felt like with the right tools, you could be a beast. Like you have the work ethic. You just wasn't putting your focus in the right areas. And I'm not saying that the right areas was sex work. I'm just saying like I feel like you didn't have somebody in your ear saying do this, you could do this. Like, have you thought of this? Try this. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, okay, and I'm not saying I'm with you because I wanted to mold you into something.
No, I just felt like it happened organically. We both
felt like we both had potential and we both helped each other out in our relationship, and it worked beautifully, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. We still have our ups and downs, but the beautiful thing about being in a relationship is like learning how to communicate. And it's not a 1 year thing. It's not a 2 year thing. Like it's forever ongoing. But
it's because that sounds so broad. I would say there comes a time where you know each other and you know when something's off, and sometimes you know when to back the fuck up and shut up and just go in your own zone. And then sometimes you know to just be like when to speak. And like you kind of just go off each other energy, and then you just leave shit alone when it needs to be left alone. Okay, you in your mode right now. Okay, I'm backing up. I'm gonna go to the store real quick. Handle some business, get some shit out the way. I'll be back. I see you in a bit. Like you gotta know, go off their energy. And some people like to pick fights. Sometimes that's when they need some attention. Okay, so like I knew she was mad the other day. I knew something simple like bringing flowers, but she's a flower girl. Just bring flowers, and then it'd be that. Cause I had kind of bickered at her because she fucked the blind.
No, I was having an issue at work. My manager was wearing my pussy out, and I was upset. I'm trying to like on the verge of trying to see if she. I'm not gonna go there, but I was having some issues with my manager, and I was already frustrated. And Z came in with like some petty shit because the blind ain't fell, and he got to barking about the goddamn blind. I'm like, bro, you were doing a lot.
It was like the 17th blind she messed up, and I was like, okay, let me go into the store. Okay, I'm bringing back some flowers. Okay, better move. So it's just like you gotta know. You got to put your pride to the side. And that's really what it's mostly about, putting your pride to the side. More than communication. Like, you got to work on it. Like,
I think communication is a big
part. Communication is the first thing. Putting your pride to the side,
like, goes to hand in hand, but like communication, oh my gosh.
Communication to where you know each other to certain things you don't have to communicate no more. You see what I'm saying? No, it's certain things we don't have to. What's understood is understood. What's understood don't need to be said sometimes. Like sometimes, nigga, I don't like that. So why are you doing it? And then like all you gotta do is give me a look, and I be like, oh yeah, and I just bag out.
That's like getting to know each other. Okay, that's cute. I also think that you deserve your own time. Like never forget that.
Yeah, that's true. But basically, money is important, especially if you want to build.
Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say. So yeah,
family.
Money is important. Like no shade. Another reason why I really love being in a relationship with Z is because he does he takes care of his business. Like I don't have to ask him like, oh, you got the point for this. No, he has it. He's making sure that he's doing his due deal so that he can be on time for this. So he can
might be stingy.
Might be a little stingy, but we're working on that.
I might be a little. I ain't gonna lie. I might be a little, but that's how you stay stable. Like
when I'm talking about.
I get you nice gifts. I get you nice things, but I'm not the type of nigga I'm sorry. I don't have money like that to where I could just spoil you just all the time.
I'm not worried about none of that, baby. As long as you're not stingy with paying these motherfucking bills.
Yeah.
I'm looking for. As long as that rent, when that rent bill come on the first, you got your portion. Long as that light bill come on the first, well, whenever it come, you got your portion. Long as that internet bill, you got your portion. I don't care about that because what you saving me coins so I can buy my own shit.
Right. I wanted to get to a place where just in case she didn't have it, didn't have her portion of anything, I was able to pick up the slack and it be like that. You see what I'm saying? Like, and it just go like that. And that's what we finally get into. And I didn't want to be in a thing where she expect me to do all this binary stuff. Like, I'm
there's some binary stuff that I do expect now.
Yeah, it is, and I do it.
Yeah, I mean, and I do it too.
Like what?
Yeah, I've been learning how to cook. I got a couple of dishes now. I think that's binary. Because if you really want to be honest about it, I feel like I shouldn't be cooking it.
Okay, I'll give you your props.
Wait a minute. Did you just side eye me when I said I was cooking? So you don't like my food?
No, I like your food. You don't really cook. Like, you good when you do it, and that's okay because sometimes life gets to where you can't always cook, and sometimes I just cook for myself and call it a day.
You cook for yourself. For us.
Okay, honestly, when I cook, you don't care for my stuff.
Oh, that's why.
Yes, let's be for real. Let's be for real.
I'm definitely cooking some shrimp and fries. Some coconut shrimp and fries.
No,
I'm
talking about my food. Let's be real. When I cook.
Z, bye.
Come on, be real.
That's not a good excuse tonight to not ask me, bitch, do you want to play girl?
She don't care for my food. She don't care for my food, which I understand because I eat like a birdie sometimes.
You haven't ate like a bird since you was a vegetarian. Bye. A vegan. So yeah, that's how it's going.
Okay. Well, I think that's for me, I think that's a beautiful thing. And I know if I find a guy to come in, I'm so comfortable now with being single and so efficient in taking care of myself that for a guy to come into my life, I feel like I'm about to go on an Eartha Kitt rant. But for a guy to come in my life, compromise. What?
Right.
Stupid. Y'all remember that? So no, like that's what I feel like. I shouldn't have to compromise. Honey, you need to come into my life and fit in a way. My love language is acts of service. I need you to come into my life and make my life easier. What value are you bringing besides? What value? I like penis, so my sexuality is a part of my self-care. So I need you to bring valuable penis, but also stability. How are you making my life easier by you being in my life? Like, and this is not, yes, money is a part of it, but also, like you just said, mental shit, like
emotion.
Are you just choosing to argue with me to stress me the fuck out? You chose in that moment that even though I'm pissed off about these blinds because it's the 11th time that it's happened, I don't think these blinds is worth this big ass argument when she's stressed out about something else. Let me bring the flowers. Are you making those decisions that this argument is not worth stressing me out? That is how a relationship works. That's how you make it better. That's how you make it valuable. And so I haven't had a dude in my recent years that is consistent enough to bring value to my life. Consistent enough engaging with me to bring value to my life. Consistent enough to say, yeah, do I have niggas hit me up, talk about let's go on a date and we'll go out on a date? Yeah, we go out on a date. They still hit me up. But what it usually is because they know that I'm not just going to be sexual. They'll hit me up and they'll be pretending to be the nigga in the pictures. I'm going to take you out on a couple of dates, but it eventually is going to be, So when we gonna hook up, it's gonna eventually just default to sexuality. You get what I'm saying? They can pretend for so long, but eventually it's gonna come out that you really just here for sex.
Right.
So I haven't had somebody who is coming into my life and bringing that value consistently. Do I get dates? Absolutely. Do I get somebody hitting me up talking about how beautiful I am? Absolutely. But actually bringing value to my life, I literally haven't had that in so long. And that's why I've been single since 2012, because nobody has stepped up to the plate and said, I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to be driven to try to convince this woman that I bring value to her life, because I'm literally, my actions are doing that. I haven't had that yet. I want to give this woman some dick, so I'm going to take her out on a couple of dates to get the ass. It's been, that's literally all I have been coming across. And so,
that's very common amongst trans women. And then think about your generation where their parents never had to talk of how to engage with trans women, and that trans women exist, and how to engage with women, period, without those weird binaries. So I already know the younger generation.
And honestly, see, I don't even think they invested in the binary like that. They say that shit, but me watching cisgender motherfuckers relationships, they don't all they get a real adaptable. Think about when Trey lose their job and they broke his shit, and the chick is still staying with him. Those fucking binaries of what she expect and what she wanted prior to that, they throw that out the window. They all working. You know that black women historically ain't just been sitting up high off the hall being taken care of, because black men is usually broke. And so they usually, it's usually both of them are contributing to the household. That's usually what it is. It's rarely. Now I've seen it, but it's rarely I've seen that the dude is taking care of every single thing. Have I seen that? Absolutely. But that is rare. Usually in my community that I've been a part of, it is usually the woman working and the man working. And that's what it is. Everybody contributing to the household running. And so I don't really see it's traditional to want that, the man providing and the woman home. But that usually is not how it really turns out in the real world that I see.
Sure. I was open to that. I was very much open to that idea of taking care of a woman, doing that fully. But I also had in the back of my mind, there's certain expectations I would have that came along with that. And I was willing to, I was talking to a girl in the middle of us talking. We wasn't together, but she had got pregnant. And I was like, I'm down. Like, I was on that type of shit. Like, I'll provide, I'll be down because I just want to fuck with you or whatever. Like, I had that mindset. So I was all in. But now as I matured, I don't know. I like the idea of just having a partner that's not afraid to go for their own goals and do things and make money for themselves, so they don't feel like that they're trapped, or I don't know. I just don't like that feeling of that dynamic. I guess it just depends on who you are. I don't know.
I get what you're saying, because I don't want to be in a situation where he's taking care of all the bills. He's taking care of all the bills, and I feel like I'm obligated to do some shit, because then I'm gonna be unstable. He can put me out, or he can be done with me as soon as he replaced me with a younger girl, or replace me with a girl with a better body or a better face, or whenever he feels like replacing me, then I'm stuck because he's taking care of all the bills. I never want to be in that situation.
Especially if you're gonna be the mother of my children, because in the reality of the situation, people split. You see what I'm saying? And if we're ever in a situation where we split and we happen to have children together, I don't want their household to change. You see what I'm saying? They're the type of dynamic. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I think about.
Right. Well, tell us what y'all think, Marsha's Play audience. Tell us what y'all think. Is money and stability important? How are y'all navigating it in your life? If you are cisgender, if you're a transgender, if you're a trans man, if you're a trans woman, if you're a non-binary person, wherever you are on the spectrum, let us know. Hit us up either on Instagram, hit us up on Twitter, hit us up wherever you can find us. We are Marsha's Plate on those platforms. You can check out the full free podcast, link in the bottom. You can check out the full video on our Patreon, also linked in the bottom. All right, I'll see you there.